The fragile peace in Manipur has been broken since last Sunday afternoon when there was a major escalation. In Imphal West, there was an attack in which two people died and 10 people at least got injured, including a journalist, a security personnel. And most importantly, Manipur government came on record to say that bombs were launched in Kotruk village in Imphal West, which borders Kankopi district, which is in the hills. There, bombs were dropped from launch pads, which were drones.
This is a new thing which has happened, and we have already Manipur police ने पहले ही ट्वीट किया हुआ है. So it has been escalated, and we are taking it very seriously. We have spoken to everybody from here to Delhi, और वहाँ दिल्ली में भी NSG से भी हम लोगों ने बात किया है, DG NSG से बात किया है, उनकी टीम से बात किया है, प्लस और भी एक्सपर्ट्स आ रहे हैं. हम लोगों ने कमिटी भी एक बनाई है कि ये ड्रोन के बारे में पूरा ये पढ़ने के लिए एंड समथिंग टू डू काउंटर करने के लिए उसको कैसे हम लोग आगे ये करें. आसाम राइफल एक कमेटी तो बना दी गई है, बट उसके बाद भी कुछ एक्सपर्ट्स को भी हम लोग बुला रहे हैं और जल्दी से जल्दी हम लोग कुछ इसका उपाय ढूंढेंगे.
So drones were for the first time perhaps used in these attacks in Manipur. That has raised alarms, that has raised concerns in the security establishment, given the fact that center has sent lot of central forces, heavily militarized the fringe areas between the Kuki-Zomi dominated hill districts and the Imphal Valley, which is dominated by the Meiteis. The idea was to keep the two warring communities away from each other, create a situation for building trust and try to bring the two groups to a talking table so that a peace solution can be charted out. But it seems the fresh escalation would need fresh strategies to deal. But whether this drone attack was a total surprise, well, if you look at what had happened in the last 1 year, ever since the ethnic violence broke out in Manipur, then one would say that the central forces should have been aware that drone attacks can actually take place in Manipur as claimed by the Manipur government. Now, going by social media feeds from Manipur, there are several posts which are still available on social media where people from both communities are seen buying drones and donating drones to their own community village volunteers. Remember, in Manipur, ever since the crisis has begun, in the fringe areas, the border villages of valley and hills, respective village have formed their village volunteer force, which are basically armed people who have been trying to target each other's communities. And this targeting had come down after the central forces had moved in the fringe areas, creating what the central forces have been calling buffer zones. But it seems that breaching the buffer zone, drones have become a new tool of launching attack. In the last 2 days, there have been several drone attacks. People have died, people have suffered injuries. The nature of the attack remains same, and some of the drones which are upgraded and which are capable of carrying a mortar shell or a bomb hang to it are being used to launch the bombs in the form of a projectile. That's what we are picking up from intelligence sources. On both sides, there are people who are armed with automatic weapons, ammunitions, bombs, mortars, and RPGs. What is important to note here is that on both sides, initially, drones were used for surveillance. And there have been several such videos doing around in social media where one can see that they are monitoring the other side's movement through drones. But alarm rang when Assam police, in 2 occasions, were able to nab consignments of equipments related to high-tech military-grade drones. And these consignments were meant for Manipur. This information was shared with all the agencies as per top officials with whom we have spoken, and it is not like that central agencies and the state forces in Manipur were not aware that people involved in armed conflict in Manipur for the past 1 year are trying to harness drone attack capabilities. Now, apart from that, the question comes that even if they are acquiring the drones, where from these drones are coming? What is the origin? Well, the source have been multiple. That's what we have tracked. The origin of these drones are basically from China and other parts of Southeast Asia like Taiwan. That's what sources in intelligence establishment have given us to understand. Now, who are the people training the operators to operate drone and drop the bombs? What we have picked up from intel sources is that on the other side of the border of Manipur, now for a long time, there is a civil war which is happening in Myanmar. Manipur and Myanmar has a porous border, and it's a known fact that insurgent groups operating in Manipur, both in the hills and the valley region, have bases in Myanmar. Intel sources tell us that insurgent groups involved in Manipur are also helping the military junta in one side and the anti-factions, the PDF and other groups on the other side. The Manipur insurgent groups have been taking sides and working with them. So therefore, while use of drone in Middle East, in Ukraine-Russia war has been highly covered, the use of drones for launching attacks in the Myanmar civil war has been not covered that well, but that has been happening. That's what intelligence sources are telling us. So therefore, in all likelihood, these operators of drones who can launch drone attacks might be getting aid from groups in Myanmar who have the capability of launching drone attacks, and they've been trained. You also have videos available in the internet, in the darknet. So therefore, those videos might also be used to learn those know-how to launch an attack with drone. The alarm bells had rung long back when Assam police had held these two consignments, but it seems the alarms were not taken seriously. With inputs from Devonish Acham in New Delhi, in Guwahati, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.